Hey, Josh Lappin here from PartTimeDrummer.com, and we're continuing on in our mini-series, our rudimental mini-series, in which we're going to cover the Percussive Art Society 40 Standard Drum Rudiments. In today's section, we're going to be covering the Flam Rudiments, or actually the first 6 of the Flam Rudiments. I think there's 11 in total. So that's a lot for one video, so we're just going to go over the first 6 today. Alright, so let's get started. So, what is a flam? A flam is a rudiment that, it's kind of a unique rudiment because you have a lot of grace notes, ghost note kind of things in there. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. But basically what happens is, you've got one note that is making the primary volume, and then you've got a second note that is kind of, basically it's kind of right behind the primary note. So a flam creates a really kind of thick or delayed kind of sound. And the best way for me to explain that is to just show you what it's like. Alright, so the flam, to construct a flam, you really have to have both hands, because both hands are working at the same time to construct a flam. Before we get started too, you have the option of playing either match grip, it'll work just fine like that, or traditional grip. I tend to like to play flams in traditional grip because a lot of this stuff starts getting into a lot of the marching snare drum techniques, so I like to use traditional grip for that. Alright, so back to the flam. To play the flam, you have both a right flam and a left flam. So whichever hand you're leading with tends to start out higher. That's going to be one of the key distinguishers of the flam. So if I'm going to do a right flam, my right hand will start out higher. And just remember that on the video, my right hand is opposite of your right hand. So my right hand, of course, if I was facing that way, it would be this way for you as well. Right hand higher. The left hand is going to start out lower. And what our goal is on the flam is we don't want the notes to hit exactly the same time. We want just like a tiny millisecond in between the two hits on the drum. So it sounds something like this. Technically you have just a slight delay. You want to make that kind of as minimal as possible, but what's happening is, since you have a difference in sticking height, the left hand is going to get to the drum just a little bit faster than the right hand. You're going to have this delayed effect. So if you listen close, you got this bump. And one of them is louder and one of them softer. The left hand is obviously a little bit softer, and the right hand is a little bit louder because it's coming from a higher stick height. So that'd be the right flam. Left hand flam, you just reverse that. Your left hand would start higher, and then your right hand would be down here. So okay, so right flam, left flam. And then you want to be able to start to alternate those back and forth between right and left. So don't overthink that. Let the sticking heights do the work then. Because one's obviously going to get there faster than the other. So let the sticking heights do the work. So that's actually how you play the most basic flam there. Of course, we're not going to start there or stop there. We have to add on and make it more fun and exciting. And that's exactly what they did with the next rudiment. So the next one in line is one of my favorites. It's called the Flam Accent. The Flam Accent is essentially it's a triplet pattern. If we're going to start with the right hand, we would simply just go right flam, left, and then right. Right flam, left, right. For the left hand pattern, we would go left flam, right, left, left flam, right, left. So one full pattern would be right, left, right. Or left, right, left. Left, right, left. Left, right, left. The only difference is we're throwing that flam at the beginning there. So if we put them all together, it would sound something like this. Again, Flam Accent, right flam, left, right, followed by left flam, right, left. All right, Flam Accent. Next one in line is called the Flam Tap. And the Flam Tap is one of my favorites as well, because of its simplicity. So Flam Tap, you simply go right flam, followed by a right sticking. And then you follow it right back up with a left flam, followed by a left stroke. So right flam, right, left flam, left, right flam, right, left flam, left. And then of course you just put them together in a very smooth sequence. So it would sound something like So as you can see, you can get those going quite fast and they're quite interesting. And I think you should be able to apply those around the drum set if you really want to. They're pretty smooth and interesting. Next rudiment in our succession here is the Flamacue. Okay? The Flamacue is fun because it has a definite start and stop point. You simply go right flam, left, right, left, followed by another right flam. So right flam, left, right, flam. To reverse that, you would go left flam, right, left, flam. Once again, left flam, right, left, flam. So right, left, right. left flam, left, right, left, right, left. Okay. The real key to these things is getting this sticking right. So you've heard that I might have made a few little minor mistakes there. It's because when you get your stickings messed up, that's when you get off. So it's really important to pay close attention to your stickings, making sure you're getting those rights and lefts in there correctly, especially when you have the flam in there too, because the flam counts for kind of a right, because you're kind of starting or the left as well, because you're starting at different stick height. So pay very close attention to those. All right, next one in the succession here, we've got the Flam Paradiddle, one of my favorites. It's simply a paradiddle. The only difference is you're going to put a right and left flam at the beginning of the paradiddles. So right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Should sound very familiar. So right flam, right, left, right, right, left flam, right, left, left, right flam, left, right, right, left flam, right, left, left. So again, right flam, left, right, right, left flam, right, left, left. And that is the Flam Paradiddle. That's what they call that thing. All right, so the final flam rudiment for this part of the series, there are more which we'll cover later, but the final one for today's session is called the single flammed mill. I don't know who comes up with these names, but they are what they are. So anyway, like I said, the distinguisher on these is the sticking patterns. So for the single flam mill, we have a right flam, right, left, right, followed by a left flam, left, right, left. The biggest thing on this one to remember is that first part is really a flam tap. So you're going to have two back-to-back stickings of whatever hand you're leading with. So right hand is right flam followed by a right tap and then left, right. To reverse that, you would follow by left flam, left tap, right, left. It's very important to get that sticking right. Otherwise, you're going to be kind of in a mess because your hands are not going to flow well. So okay, so single flam mill, right flam, right, left, right, left flam, left, right, left. Okay, all right, so those were the first 6, and our video is starting to get a little bit long. I'm going to try to keep them at a decent rate here. We're already starting to go over 15 minutes, so we're going to cut it there for today, but we'll be back again very soon with the final 5 of the flam rudiments. Again, this is Josh Lappin from PartTimeDrummer.com. If you have any more additional questions about this video or about drumming in general, please visit us at our website and we can definitely help you out.